Hi, this is Monica. Welcome to the Modified Blind Contour Drawing tutorial video. So as you watch me draw here, a few things to consider. First of all, while you're drawing, you want to move very slowly. So you want to make sure that your eye is looking at all the small, tiny details in your hand. So all those little wrinkles, hangnails, little hairs, anything you see, you want to follow that with your eye. And you want your hand to follow your eye. Excuse me. So as you're drawing, you want to be looking at your hand holding the object most of the time. You're really only glancing at the paper. This is modified from a blind drawing where you don't look at the paper at all. So this is modified to the effect that you may glance at the paper just to sort of assess that your hand is in the right place. But in general, you want to be looking at what you're drawing about really 99% of the time. You're only glancing at the paper at tiny increments here and there. So the next thing, you want to make sure your arm and shoulder are always relaxed. If you find that your hand's up or your shoulders up, you're not going to concentrate well. You're not going to be able to. And so you want to make sure you and just take a deep breath at every enough to continue work. So that's actually very important in drawing in general. You want to make sure that you're just always that drawing arm and hand. There's no need to tense up. You'll be much if you can just as you may find yourself tense. Okay, next thing, as you're moving through the thing, worry if you saw a line and you continue going and then you let that previous line, it's not in the right place. In that case, you do not need to go back and erase anything. I want you to just keep going. That line will stay there, but then you'll just go back and redraw what you're actually seeing where you want it. So you can see here I may have a few extraneous lines. That's not a big deal. It's not going to detrimentally affect your drawing. And this exercise is really more about that concentrated looking as opposed to any like going back and editing and really figuring things out. This is not the kind of typical sketch where you're measuring and doing any kind of values or really figuring out all of the overall specifics. This is really about all those tiny details and training your hand-eye coordination to really connect in order to be able to train your hand to move as your eye sees. And this is the key to successful um, observational drawing. Also take note, I mean, I've witnessed this a number of times with many students, with myself, um, even as a professional, and also with students with zero experience in drawing, if you do this kind of exercise for like even just a couple of minutes every day for a couple weeks, you're going to see a dramatic improvement in your drawing ability. I should say your observational drawing ability. It really is dramatic how strongly this gets your hand-eye coordination connected, which is so important. So if that's one of your goals as you're doing your studying and you want to improve your observational drawing abilities, I would definitely recommend doing this every day, even if it's just a minute. That little bit will start to make that connection um, that much stronger so that as you draw, you'll get more, your brain will get more and more used to just moving your hand as you see. Um, yeah, so, and as you're going, another key point here is that this type of drawing, like I said, this is not a typical like measurement and sketching and remeasuring and changing things. So often this exercise ends up looking distorted in the end. So you might find that your drawing is looks a little stretched out or doesn't look 100% accurate. That's okay. I'd really rather see that within your details, those details are really looked at, where it looks like you really looked, followed, moved slowly, like really studied all those small details. That is what is more important here, um, rather than the overall perfect measurement. So good luck. Can't wait to see your drawings.